Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Excellencies, participants, ladies and gentlemen, I begin by thanking our hosts for inviting and affording me this opportunity to share Pakistan's perspective on an issue of significance for regional and global peace and stability. I compliment the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation for hosting this important conference for the 7th time. This conference is taking place, ladies and gentlemen, in the aftermath of defeat of ISIS in Iraq and Syria. Pakistan appreciates the role played by the Russian Federation in the decimation of Daesh. While there is reason to celebrate the defeat of ISIS, there is no room for complacency. The unchecked proliferation of Daesh in our neighborhood continues to pose a threat to the security of the region. As was noted, ISIS has been defeated in the physical domain, but the effects left on the people in the aftermath of prolonged periods of violence will take decades to heal. While the suffering and humiliation being faced by millions of Syrian refugees representing different ethnicities remain the primary source of concern, the activities of non-state actors representing conflicting interests in the region continue to impact and threaten the fragile peace process in Syria. Excellencies, we are living in a complex world. Developments that are taking place at a rapid pace have far-reaching impact on the basic fabric of our national and individual lives, value systems, and thought processes. We are passing through defining moments in terms of economic, regional, global, and strategic developments. The rise of China and resurgence of Russia have morphed the post-Cold War unipolar world into a multipolar one. Realignments taking place at the regional and global levels are not only altering the global power equation economically, but also altering it strategically and militarily. The drive for Eurasian integration, expansion of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, creation of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, China's Belt and Road Initiative, and China-Pakistan Economic Corridor will open many new avenues of regional cooperation in the years to come. However, we will need to overcome the challenge of terrorism and extremism to exploit fully the potential for cooperation in the region and beyond. The enormity and scale of the challenge requires a comprehensive and coordinated approach. The specter of terrorism, which is haunting today's world, has affected the very fabric of societies across the globe. This menace, however, did not evolve overnight. Pakistan has drawn attention continuously of the international community to the root cause of terrorism, which lies in unresolved conflicts and disputes, use of unlawful force and aggression, foreign occupation, and denial of right of self-determination. Denial of basic human rights, external control and exploitation of natural resources of other countries, social and economic injustice, poverty, and massive displacement of people are also relevant in this regard. Pakistan remains deeply concerned about instances of xenophobia, religious or racial profiling, and defamation of religions, which stoke extremism and terrorism. We are concerned particularly about rising incidents of Islamophobia. Unfair and biased portrayal of Islam, its value system, and beliefs are unacceptable. There is a need to enact legislations to counter hate speech in the name of free speech. And we express hope that the international community will not only take notice, but also take concrete measures to address these issues. There is also a need to develop stronger counter-narratives based on interfaith harmony and cross-cultural mutual respect to ensure extremists are denied the space which they seek continuously. Ladies and gentlemen, Palestine and Jammu and Kashmir are the oldest items on the agenda of the United Nations. Yet the people of Palestine and the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir continue to be suppressed brutally. It is imperative for the international community to take measures to ensure respect for the human rights of Palestinians and Kashmiris. They deserve rightfully our moral, diplomatic, and political support for achievement of their legitimate right to self-determination. As part of its vision of a peaceful neighborhood, Pakistan is pursuing a policy of good neighborly relations. We wish to resolve all outstanding conflicts and disputes, including the Jammu and Kashmir dispute, peacefully through dialogue. However, I will emphasize that the Jammu and Kashmir dispute must be resolved in accordance with the United Nations resolutions, taking into account the aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Non-resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute remains the primary obstacle to peace and stability in South Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, our neighborly brother, Afghanistan, has suffered from conflict for a long time. There is no military solution to Afghanistan internal conflict. We support Afghan President Ashraf Ghani's recent National Peace and Reconciliation Plan. A politically negotiated settlement through an Afghan-led and Afghan-owned peace and reconciliation process is the only viable for lasting peace in Afghanistan. Pakistan believes that bringing Taliban to the table and establishing peace and stability in Afghanistan is a shared responsibility of the international community. Peace in Afghanistan will also pave the way for the return of more than 3 million Afghan refugees hosted by Pakistan for now more than 4 decades. Pakistan, Russia, and other neighboring countries of Afghanistan share common concerns relating to security threats posed by the prevailing situation in Afghanistan, ranging from terrorism, but also including the phenomenal increase in drug production and use of drug money for terror financing. Increasing presence of Daesh and location of its camps close to the borders of Pakistan and the Central Asian republics is a cause of common concern. Both Pakistan and Russia not only desire, but also have been making efforts to promote peace and reconciliation in Afghanistan. The role played by Russia in developing a regional approach to Afghanistan with the participation of our Central Asian brethren is noteworthy. We fully support this effort. The presence of foreign forces in Afghanistan over the last 17 years has failed to bring stability to our neighbor. There is an effort to scapegoat Pakistan and other countries for this failure. We reject these baseless allegations. We will not and cannot fight wars of others on our soil. I would like to briefly talk, however, about the military operations undertaken against terrorists by Pakistan, which can currently include comprehensive socio-economic uplift strategy in disturbed regions. After successful completion of kinetic operations, we are consolidating our gains under a comprehensive national action plan to deny any space to the terrorists to regroup or re-establish their networks. The hardcore terrorists and perpetrators of violence are being tried under an effective judicial system. We are also making huge efforts to institute an effective border control management on our border with Afghanistan. I wish to underscore, however, that Pakistan has eliminated all terrorists from its soil, including from areas bordering Afghanistan. And this success has been possible because of Operations Zarb-e-Azb and Raddul Fasad carried out by our brave armed forces and civilian security personnel against terrorists and extremists over the last few years. The success achieved by these operations has been acknowledged and appreciated globally. The operations have been carried out by Pakistan's forces across the board against all militant groups. And we have carried these massive operations with our own resources spending more than $2 billion US. I also want to emphasize that the people of Pakistan have suffered gravely, not only human but also material losses while fighting terrorism, not only to make Pakistan safe, but to make the world a safer and better place. Ours is a success story of fighting terrorism. Pakistan has gained a wealth of knowledge and experience while successfully combating and eliminating terrorism, and we are willing to share it with others. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as a result of our resolute struggle against terrorism and extremism, Pakistan is transforming fast to become a net security provider in the region and is set to achieve economic prosperity by reaping economic benefits from projects like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is a part of the Belt and Road Initiative, which is going to be not only a game changer for Pakistan, but for the region and beyond. Let me conclude by enunciating clearly Pakistan's agenda, which is peace, friendship, cooperation, connectivity, development, and prosperity of our people. I invite you to join us in the implementation of this agenda for the shared prosperity of our peoples. I will conclude to once again thank my distinguished counterpart, General Shoigu, the Defense Minister of the Russian Federation, and the organizers of this international conference, with the hope that such interactions will help global community in evolving strategies, but also mobilize the international community to bring security, stability, and prosperity to the world. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.